Hello everyone, this is The Last Word and I'm Maria Shakil. The Ministry of Home Affairs has in fact stepped into the Delhi coaching deaths. A panel has been formed and this probe panel will be fixing responsibility. Of course, this is a very unfortunate incident. The MHA has put out a detailed tweet to say that the committee will inquire about the reasons, fix responsibility, suggest measures and recommend policy changes. And the committee will have additional secretary, Ministry of Urban Development, then Principal Secretary of Home, Delhi Government, Special CP, Delhi Police, Fire Advisor and Joint Secretary. As in the Ministry of Home Affairs will be the convener, and this committee will be submitting its report in 30 days. So now Ministry of Home Affairs acting on this horrific incident which has shaken the entire country, 3 young lives lost in what was certainly a very, very unfortunate incident which happened at a coaching center in Delhi's old Rajendra Nagar, which is largely known for its coaching centers. There have been multiple arrests that have been made, but the larger question which remains unanswered is that how did a coaching institute run an illegal basement for so many days and months without it being noticed and acted upon by the Municipal Corporation of Delhi. Okay, so the top focus on The Last Word right now. 3 young lives lost, 3 students who could have contributed to India's steel frame have been killed. Look at these faces. Shreya Yadav from Uttar Pradesh was 25 years old. Tanya Soni from Bihar was 21 and Nevin Delvin was from Kerala. All studying for the UPSC died in Delhi's Rajendra Nagar coaching center's basement. The students flagged poor infrastructure in parts of Delhi, residents of which often battle floods caused by drainage issues and negligence by the municipal corporation. There is apathy, negligence, corruption, collusion, all at play here. All together killing 3 young lives. On the show tonight, we'll be joined by families who are seeking justice for Shreya, Tanya and Nevin. We also spoke to Nevin's uncle who had joined us from the New Delhi airport, returning home with the mortal remains of his 29-year-old nephew. But first up, here's what happened today.
हमारी जीवन का सवाल है, बट आए दिन कैजुअलिटीज हो रही है, कौन तय करेगा?
कैसे काम चलेगा? अपना बच्चा बाहर कैसे भेजेगा पढ़ने के लिए?
Two days after 3 UPSC aspirants died after drowning at the basement of a coaching institute in Delhi, bulldozer justice in action. Delhi civic body used earth movers to raise illegal portions of coaching centers in old Rajendra Nagar. This, as students continue to raise their voice, demanding justice over what they claim was clear negligence on part of civic authorities.
हमारी डिमांड यही है, कोई एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, म्युनिसिपल, कोई रिप्रेजेंटेटिव यहाँ पे आए, हमारी डिमांड को सुने और उसका रिटर्नेबल कोई आंसर दे और उसका एक टाइम पीरियड बताए कि किस टाइम पीरियड तक ये चीज़ें की जाएंगी. यहाँ पे कंपनसेशन फिक्स किया जाए जो विक्टिम्स फैमिली है, मिनिमम 1 CR का. और यहाँ पे जो ड्रेनेज सिस्टम है, लाइट और CCTVs को इसको इम्प्रूव किया जाए.
इसका ये मोटो था कि यहाँ पे जो पढ़ने वाले विद्यार्थी हैं उनके जीवन के साथ कोई खिलवाड़ ना हो सके. और दूसरा, मैंने राव IAS की बेसमेंट की कंप्लेंट की थी, क्योंकि बेसमेंट में सामान्यतः कक्षाएं संचालित करना, बच्चों को बिठाना, भीड़ इकट्ठी करना, मतलब NOC नहीं रहती है. तो इस संबंध में मैंने कंप्लेंट की थी. शायद प्रशासन इस पर कुछ अपना कदम उठाता तो ये दुर्घटना नहीं होती.
Even the Delhi LG's assurance who met the protesting students to calm them down failed to make much of an impact.
नहीं ये बंद हो, परमानेंट सोल्यूशन निकालने की जरूरत है. ये टेम्परेरी सोल्यूशन से काम नहीं. मैं आपसे वादा करता हूँ, आप प्लीज थोड़ा सा विश्वास रखिए, मैं दोबारा आपके पास आऊंगा और आपको बताऊंगा कि हम क्या कर रहे हैं.
While students demand justice for their loved ones, families of the 3 UPSC aspirants who died are inconsolable.
एमसीडी के किसी अधिकारी ने जो घटना चक्र घटा, इस पूरे घटना चक्र में एमसीडी के कोई भी अधिकारी नहीं, न इंस्टीट्यूट का कोई आदमी, न दिल्ली गवर्नमेंट का कोई आदमी, न गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया का कोई आदमी, न एजुकेशन मिनिस्टर का कोई आदमी हॉस्पिटल में आया.
As the students' anger rages on and families' cries for justice grow louder, political blame game also spirals. The BJP protested against the Delhi mayor, pinning blame for the tragedy on the Aam Aadmi Party-run Delhi civic body. Delhi police has also issued a notice to the MCD seeking details of the officers responsible for carrying out checks in the area. MCD, on the other hand, has fired a junior engineer and suspended an assistant engineer.
वहाँ पे जो रोड के किनारे स्टॉर्म वाटर ड्रेन लोगों ने इंक्रोचमेंट करके उसको कवर कर दिया था, जिसके कारण उसमें पानी जाना भी दूभर था और उसका क्लीनिंग भी दूभर था. तो उसको हमने लगा दिया है कि वो सभी इंक्रोचमेंट को डिमोलिश कर दिया जाए और उस ड्रेन को रिकवर किया जाए.
With camera person Rohit Vishwakarma and Sheikh Momin, this is Tanushka Datta and Ishika Verma for NDTV.
Linu Raj is uncle of Nevin. He's joining us. Nevin certainly was a very, very bright boy. My condolences to you and your entire family. A PhD scholar from JNU preparing for his UPSC. His mother, a professor, father was Deputy Superintendent of Police in Kerala Police. When did he last speak to his family and what were his dreams like?
Yeah, his dream was becoming an IAS officer. So that was his dream and aspiration. For that, he was working hardly for last 3 years. Okay. So as you rightly said, father is a retired police and mother working as a professor. So still is working. So they want to groom up the his boy up to the level. But unfortunately, the tragedy happened.
Tragedy. Now it is very clear that this coaching institute was running a basement library which was illegal.
So last Saturday we spoke to him last call, and Sunday through media only we came to know this tragedy. We were in a church mass service, so we came to know through media only. Then subsequently I got a lot of calls. So I am his uncle. Now I'm in Delhi. I came from Cochin to pick Nevin's body, and so I'm alone here with my cousin. Okay. So the parents are in hometown. Why? Because my sister having slight chest pain from the morning. Okay, so we didn't invite my cousin or my sister to Delhi. I came alone, madam.
Mr. Raj, do you think there has been a great degree of recklessness on part of the authorities?
Exactly. We have to blame the competent authority, who is the building approving authority and safety authorities. Okay, how they fail to inspect that building on time, right? So this is not a chota-mota institution; it's a reputed institution. How they give the licensing for this, the end of ground floor. It's a very surprise actually, right? So my humble request is, in future we should not face this kind of tragedy. We should not lose any life on this. Okay, that is my request. So competent authority, they have to find out immediately which are the buildings is illegal construction or approval. So they have to block immediately, madam.
Absolutely. Lapse on whose part? Do you feel that accountability will be fixed and there would be any justice for your nephew and 2 other students?
Definitely, there is a recklessness, 100% no doubt on this, right? If it is outskirts of the city, we can blame the authority. Okay, they would have missed out. But it's the heart of the our capital of India. So definitely there is a lapse. There is a lapse. Okay, so we have to correct it. There is a lapse.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. My condolences to your family in this hour of grief and tragedy. Joining me on the show now is Pragesh Prasoon. He is the director of Pragesh IAS. Praneeth Mungali is educationist and trustee of Sanskriti Group of Schools. We have Yashwardhan Azad, former IPS officer. Ayushi Priya, UPSC aspirant. and Dileep Kumar is a UPSC aspirant who lives in Mukherjee Nagar. I'm going to begin with the two students first. Dileep, what are your thoughts? Do you think tragedies like these were waiting to happen because of the sheer negligence at multiple levels? And if anything, the nature of probe is suggesting that finally accountability will not be fixed. It will be about just junior level officers who would be arrested.
Yes, indeed, it's a unfortunate incident. But talking about fixing accountability, so it is a collusive. There is a collusive corruption between MCD, Delhi police, and other officials. So this is the first issue. Second issue is inefficiency and incompetence of the officials. It's not that they are not aware of this incident, because even last year also in Mukherjee Nagar, one fire accident happened. So just everything, whenever this kind of incidents happen, all of a sudden they will take some knee-jerk reactions. After that, everything will become as usual. So the coaching industry, MCD, Delhi police, so all of these stakeholders.
Are these basement libraries or class centers common in most of these places in Mukherjee Nagar and other places, Rajendra Nagar, and several parts of Delhi where such coaching institutes run?
Yes, these coaching centers, because they have to shell out a huge amount of money to the landlords. So in order to reduce their amount, so coaching centers usually they operate their libraries or classrooms in the basement or those what to say, like old buildings. So we don't have any safety measures here. Neither we have any fire safety, nor they took only NOC. Just by bribing some officials, be it MCD or
so no
police.
safety measures.
So
Ayushi, my question is now to you. As a student who is studying in Delhi, what are your concerns now after this incident?
There are huge, several concerns. Just as he mentioned out last year also, there was a fire hazard. There was a very huge fire breakout in one of the coaching centers in Mukherjee Nagar. And then we have this. We have several issues. We have electricity problems. If we come to this place, Rajendra Nagar, old Rajendra Nagar, the houses are so crammed up over here because they know that they are going to attract a student audience. So there are very limited housing spaces in which they try to, gain the maximum rent out of it. So due to those very issues, there has been an issue of water shortages. There are several live wires that are hanging on the roads, that are hanging apart from the buildings to the other buildings. And in several of these regards, the students' lives are at risk, no matter whether they go out on the roads or whether they go out to the balconies. There's barely any space to live. There's barely any sanitary conditions in these places because they're also crammed up, and they know no matter what, they're going to attract an audience and the rent will never stop coming in. So they barely really care about the lives of the people and the lives of the students over here, because at the end of the day, all that matters to them is to shell out some money from these students, not really caring about what kind of life they're providing.
Pragesh, that is a huge charge that is there against these coaching centers, such as yours as well, that it's about money and the safety, security, health of students aren't really important. Something that we saw play out, which led to this tragic incident.
Yeah, true. Definitely, there is a cutthroat competition among the various coaching industries to attract the students, and fees are skyrocketing. And definitely, there should be, I urge through your platform to the government, that government should bring regulation to bring a cap on the highest fee that an institute can charge. Second, I have also been aspirant, and I have stayed at that place over and for 4 or 5 years. So rent seeking is a very grave concern there. So there should also be concern. There should also be cap the highest rent can a landlord ask from a aspirant. And third solution from my side is that why these coaching industries are mushrooming. These coaching industries are mushrooming because of the lucrative business, because of lucrative money that is it's attracting. So many government.
But Pragesh, what about your responsibility? While we look at the responsibility and seek answers from the MCD, from the Delhi police, from the Delhi fire brigade, what about the responsibilities of these coaching institutes?
This is a collective failure of the entire coaching industry, which have failed to ensure the safety of the students. And definitely, we should come out, we should take the responsibility, and we should try to correct this. This should never happen. This should be a remembering lesson to the entire coaching industry.
Yes. So, Praneeth, yes, there is a great degree of acceptance on part of Pragesh, who said that it's a lucrative business, but money is coming at the cost of young lives. What has happened here, Praneeth, is far more concerning. That the coaching centers, of course, will take responsibility at the CEO in this particular case has been arrested, but such centers are too many. What we are just learning now is that the MCD has sealed 5 properties, including basement of coaching centers in Old Rajendra Nagar, Karol Bagh area, and several parts of Delhi, where they are violating building bylaws. But they have been running. Why does it take a tragedy for us to wake up?
I think it's just a case of blatant greed. There is just no other way to couch it, but severe irresponsible behavior on the part of these coaching institutes, because the particular coaching institute where this mishap happened is not an isolated case. We are seeing press reports that there are several other institutes which have repurposed basements for purposes for which they did not have any permission, putting lives in jeopardy. And, it's just sheer avarice. So on the part, obviously, words like a collective failure and, what the terms that Pragesh used are, at best mild for this gross negligence on the part of the industry, which has caused.
Yes, so there is greed. What is playing out is greed at multiple levels and sheer apathy, we are calling it. But Yashwardhan Azad, given the nature of probe that we have seen so far, are you hopeful for justice?
No, not at all. In fact, I don't believe this committee which has been made, it will submit a report in 1 month, will lead to anything. This little girl explained what's her name. She explained it so beautifully.
Ayushi, yes.
The basic malaise, Ayushi, I think. She explained it brilliantly. That is the malaise, which is afflicting Delhi. Delhi is ungoverned. For example, I'll just list out the various, negligence. Not negligence, it's criminal. For example, who gives permission to these basements? And you're talking about, little juniors, engineers being suspended. Throughout Delhi, there are illegal basements which are doing commercial activity. It's clearly mentioned that the basements cannot be used for commercial activity. It can be only used for those people who are staying there and to extend their professional activities. But everywhere it's happening. So who's going to report and what? That's number one. Number two, the biggest callousness comes on the part of these ownership of these various institutes. And I tell you, 90% of them are just running rackets, making money, and putting students to extreme danger, not inconvenience, danger. Number four, Delhi is such a place where, as it is, where 100 people should be, there are 1,000 people. So in terms of the pressure on civic communities, phenomenal. I mean, you can't. The fifth thing, Maria, is that Delhi is impossible for governing anything because here the secretaries don't listen to the minister. The ministers are complaining against the lieutenant governor. And look at this case. This is clearly an MCD's fault. And then the commissioner of the MCD doesn't have anything to say on this issue at all. So what they have done, they have just suspended a junior engineer. This is a joke. Now, the other thing is, the most important thing is, you say Home Ministry has stepped in. So Home Ministry has 5 senior officials who will do what? They will say that MCD में ये drainage वाला जिम्मेवार था, उसकी गलती है, आप government की गलती है. And then what will happen after that? Do you think the basement character, the rules will be changed? But will any enforcement be done? Will any action? The biggest fault in this case is that of the owner, who, if he saw, and the worst part again more, Maria, which you didn't mention, is that there were complaints by the students.
Yes.
When the students complained, then what happened to the councillor? What happened to the MLA? What happened to the MP? Why didn't they shout about this?
Absolutely, Yashwardhan Azad. I second your anger because what Ayushi says is essentially what has been a part of a plea before the Chief Justice of India, that it's almost like living a life of hell. Ayushi, so let me give you the last word here on the show. Concerned, worried, depressed, or hopeless right now?
It's actually very traumatizing, to be very honest. We do not know who do we look up to. We do not know who do we actually seek for help from, because after paying such high amounts of money, we are getting subpar levels of facilities. So we completely lose the faith in the government. We completely lose the faith in the system that all of us are trying to actually get inside. And we completely do not understand what such big institutes are doing when an instance of this caliber, of this frequency and of this intensity has happened, and this jolts the authorities to actually look into it. God only knows what might happen to the slums of Delhi, to the areas which media does not reach to, if an incident of this sort has happened in the center of Delhi, and only then a judicial custody has been ordered, only then a commission and a panel has been ordered.
Absolutely.
We can only stay
lots
hopeless.
to think about, lots to worry. We certainly hope that there is some justice, because there are 3 students that we are looking at, Tanya, Shreya, Nevin. Let's keep talking about them. Let's keep remembering them. This will certainly ensure that the authorities fix themselves and ensure justice towards the end. I would like to thank all the panelists who joined us. I'm leaving you with these images. These are 3 lives that we are looking at. We are with the families as they mourn their deaths.